One early morning a few years ago, I'd gone to a place called Jamaica Pond, and it was October and very crisp out. You know how it feels in the fall time. I was walking around, must have done a couple of laps, and I noticed an older guy in front of me, maybe about 300 feet, and he had a dog with him, and he had a potato sack in one hand. Well, he kept walking, he got up to the water, and he threw the potato sack into the water. The dog he was with was acting kind of crazy, and he yanks on the dog, and they walk up to the woods, and they disappear. I approach that same spot, and just as I'm getting there, the bag starts sinking into the water. But I noticed that there was that like movement. It was kind of like something was in the bag. I didn't know what it was. I dove in and grabbed the bag out of the water. I opened it up, and inside the bag were 6 puppies. All of them had died. Apparently they had drowned. I didn't get there in time. I guess it was the dog's puppies that he was with, and he didn't want them, so he threw them into the pond. About 30 seconds had gone by, and I was staring down at the puppies, and I noticed one of them moved slightly. I thought it was my imagination, but it kept moving, and apparently it hadn't drowned. It was still alive. So I took that puppy home, and I fed it, and I raised it, and I named it Beblick. I named it Beblick because I thought Beblick was a good name for a dog. Over time, me and Beblick became very close. We went hiking together, we went jogging together, we went to the beach together. The dog became a very close companion to me, very loyal. So one day we decided to go to Mount Shasta, and we went all the way to the top. We hiked it, and a lot of snow up there. We're walking around on the snow, and a little bit hungry, a little bit tired, but we were having a good time. And all of a sudden, I notice a kind of like breeze blowing by and like a rumbling noise. When I look over at the top, I notice snow coming at us, an avalanche. So immediately, me and Beblick start running down the mountain, trying to beat this thing. But it's just moving too fast, and it took us under, All I felt like I was like a tumbleweed, floating around inside the snow. The avalanche finally comes to a stop, and I realize now that I'm stuck inside the snow. I have no idea how far down I am because there's no sound coming in. It's totally silent in there. I try and move my body, but I can't. It's like almost like a vice grip holding me in place. The snow is tightly wrapped around my body. It's like compressed that even moving my hands is impossible. I'm basically realizing at that point that I'm going to die. So I start preparing myself mentally. I'm going to die and this is it. Nobody's going to find me because nobody knows I'm in here. I'm drifting in and out of consciousness, and at one point I'm hearing some kind of like scratchy noise, up above me. It's like scratching, scratching, and scratching. And I have no idea what that is. Must have been like 20 minutes later or something. It's getting really loud now. And I finally realized that was my dog Beblick digging me out. So, it got to a point where I was able to free my hands and pulled myself out of the avalanche. And, I was thinking, had it not been for my dog Beblick, I would have died on Mount Shasta. That would have been the end of it. They would have found me like 30 years later, and they would have said, "Caveman found on Mount Shasta." So I'm very grateful for my dog Beblick. One of a kind, one of a kind.